So welcome back to Grounded, home of mindfulness, meditation, self-exploration. And just adjust this brightness. Okay, cool, that's better. Today I want to talk a little bit about the capacity to love, and through the capacity to love is the direct indication to your own connection to the source of it all. Now, the currency of the world is money, but the currency of life is love. But that connection has to come from your own well within. You are, in your most purest nature, a well of infinite love, a well of infinite connection. Only what stops us from feeling this connection to our own divine love, to our own divine nature, is the resistance that we feel in our lives. And that resistance that we feel is the resistance towards our own healing, our own acknowledgement of our own internal wounds that need that love. And it's through the healing of these wounds that our infinite source of love can be realized more and more, and to the point where you become so radiant, so filled with your own love, that you are in a state of complete connection. And this is a little bit what we could touch upon about being in alignment. What alignment is really referring to is your connection to your own love, your connection to the infinite ocean of love from which you are a part of. And so love and feeling that love and realizing that love and connecting with that love first starts off with loving the parts of us that we resist. It's about loving them wounds within us. And as we love them wounds, them blockages within our psyche, as we remove them blockages, we are removing and allowing more love to flow through us, more connection. So it has to start with yourself. You have to love your resistance. Be in a state of acceptance towards your resistance. And as you move into a place of acceptance to that resistance, which means you're no longer fighting against these patterns, no longer trying to run and avoid these negative ways of thinking and feeling, and you become more accepting, and you become more allowing of these states that operate within you through the love, which is acceptance, which is allowance. Through that love, then these wounds begin to open. These deeply suppressed wounds within you begin to open. And as they begin to open, because they are being loved, because your wounds are being accepted, because these wounds are parts of you that are repressed within the subconscious. When we come into healing, we don't just instantly move through every wound that we have opening up. These wounds need to be accepted and to a point in which that wound that you've resisted is fully able to open, to reveal itself. And then as it reveals itself, it reveals them parts of you that are hurt. And then you can bring love to yourself, compassion to yourself. And as this wounds open and you allow yourself to feel, and you have that, and you surround that wound with compassion and love, then as that blockage begins to remove, more love comes through. The psyche unblocks a little bit more, and you have a much greater capacity to love. And so as we go through the healing, which begins with a state of acceptance, these wounds, these suppressed, repressed traumas come to the surface. And to the point where you have loved yourself so much that you don't need anybody or anything to fill you up with love. You don't need anyone to love you. You don't need anything to fulfill you, because you are so connected to your own source of love that you are overflowing with it, radiating light, radiating love, radiating transparency. When this is the place in which you've reached, you gain the capacity to love those that have hurt you, those that have inflicted their wounds on you. And it's accepting an acceptance, which is love, is to bring acceptance and love to the ones that have caused them wounds. Now we have to understand, or when we do truly understand, that life is love. To reject any part of yourself or to reject another is to continue that rejection and suppression of your own love. So as we fill ourselves up with love, we gain the capacity to love others, even the ones that hurt us the most. And when we gain the capacity to love like that, we gain the capacity to love everything. And this is then at the point where you're moving beyond the duality of wrong or right, and you're in the understanding that whatever you deem wrong is nothing more than a suppression of your own love. And to the point where you can love anything regardless of the nature of it, which is a form of acceptance, which is to hold everything together within your being. And to radiate what the world needs most. But that begins with you. To the next one, much love.